Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are in Satisfactory again today. I found some time at the end of my workday to sneak in a stream. So here we are. Shush, don't tell anybody. Lies, tell everyone. Tell all your friends. Hanging out with Sanj J Dub, Cosmic Dancer, T30 Drifts, Dan Grice, some other usuals rounding out the chat. Always good to see everybody. We are here at the top of Devastator, and we left off yesterday working on aluminum, and I did a little bit of tinkering around with some ideas after I logged out yesterday, just trying to decorate things a little bit. One thing that I am not happy with, and we'll show you, is that if you look down this aisle, because of this kind of design block we have, it makes the ceiling look uneven. Like it's got a bigger slope on this side than it does on this side, and to me it feels unbalanced. You can see it kind of like up here. So I'm not sure if we're going to go with this. I think I have another section farther down. Maybe I did it here. Yeah, so here I removed the top part and I left myself this shelf, and you can see that it feels like more of an even ceiling. If I stand right in the middle here, it feels more even. I just don't know if I particularly like that look. It's not the end of the world. That's obviously cleaner, but this helps us out with the ceiling. So until further notice, I think we're going to go with this one, and then we'll work around the others. The other thing I tested out was the difference between having an open ceiling and these going straight into the ceiling. And honestly, I don't mind either one. I think they both look fine. So we could use floor holes and go right up, or we could do the more complicated thing, which is this. And the next thing we have to tackle is going to be the water. And like I said, I think the better place to bring in the water is going to be in the middle here. So rather than trying to sneak the water down this tiny little crack, right? I mean, it's doable, totally doable. We would have to maneuver it around in a couple different places here, right? Currently, that's where the water is, and we need to bring it in somewhere around here. We could take it all down this line. That would mess things up if this is a floor that we want to use. So the better way, I think, to bring the water is going to be right here, I think. We can bring it in right there. So between Section 1 and Section 2, we can bring the water in along here. It won't matter that these are in the way. And then we can split one off to the left and then two off to the right and go that way. So what we're going to do today is finish the ceiling so that I know what I'm working with and how. And we'll go from there. Making lemon poppy seed madeleines, says MindTripMedia. That sounds delicious. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. Oh, boo! Good to see you. How's vacation going? So yeah, we're just going to continue this right down the line. I think I'm okay to remove these. And I think we are going to keep these. Might as well do this now while we can have easy access to them. I always forget that you can very easily walk underneath refineries. It's nice. Oh. On the good side, I had a 3-hour bike ride along the canyon earlier today. Very cool, Abu. On the bad side, one of my friends from last week's convention just tested positive for COVID. And I also have a sore throat. Oh, no. Well, take care of yourself, and hopefully it won't thwart your vacation plans. Okay, we're going to leave this part open because we're going to need it. And we'll leave that part open as well. So the decision here, I believe, is to replace that and have this be just decoration, and then bring the third pipe down in probably the middle of this. That means we're going to get rid of this. I think that should look okay. Alright, so that's correct. We'll just grab a pipe. And then we could maybe use the same decorations that we've been using back here. And if we decide we don't like this, we can just hide it in the wall. And that'll be it. But I think that looks okay. So that means that this is going to come down here. That's actually probably the right way to do it. Is that too far forward? Yeah. So, not the prettiest there, but won't be able to be seen anyway. You'll just see the pipe a little bit. That's number 3. And then these two will stay basically as they are. But this is going to change. I think I was bringing it in through here. So we'll line these 3 up. I think we might as well go down the middle. in the most efficient way we can. I'll probably keep them high. Makes the most sense. One, two, three, 4, 5. So we can just use this. I have no idea if this is the right height or not. That was a good guess. Why is that way down here? That's weird. So we'll bring this as far as we can. And then it has to turn. And this will actually probably end up being lower. It's fine. I guess we could bring it in over the top behind everything. I don't have to circle it around. We could just turn it right here. Yeah, let's do that. And I guess we'll just build something temporary to get this to here. Oh, is that the middle one? Oh, that's off. Let's do this here. And then now this should connect, go all the way down, and then we can put a split here. And this should go right in. And then this should be the same thing here. And this 3, so this has to stay Mark II because this has got 400 in it after this one, where we will remove 200. You still plan on try and bring your Metrox saves over to this one? I know you were at least thinking about it at that point. I'm torn about it. I haven't figured it out. I'd have to look in how to do it. There's a bunch of behind the scenes things that I have to look into how to do. One of which is providing my blueprints from this save for everyone in the Discord. And so I'm going to be doing that. I just have to figure out, I know where the files are, I just have to figure out how to save them in the right format for everybody. So we are probably going to bring this in along here instead. So we'll have That's 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. Guess that's the middle of that one. That's the middle of this one. That's fine. One of the upgrades I wish we could get in the game would be more distance between your pipe supports and your belt supports. That would be great. So this should be, and I don't need that to be an indicator. We can just use regular Mark II. And I guess, really, we could bring this down along here. There's no reason not to, unless this, yeah, we've got the concrete to think about as to where it's going to go. So I could bring all 3 of them down that way right now, or I could bring one at a time. I'm probably going to bring all 3 of them down this way. That way we won't be interfering with the concrete. It's probably a good plan. Nice and straight. Oh. Straight one way, but crooked the other. And this just makes it easier for me to walk around and get underneath them if I need to. So we could bring them across there. We could bring them across inside the wall. That's the outside. So they have to, I think the earliest they can come in is here. Yeah. That is off. One, two, three, four, 5. That should be fine. Probably just easiest to drop them down. Or do I want to keep them as high as possible? Where do they come in? Well, they're somehow off. How are those off by? Oh, it's just the holes that are off. Right. Okay. This is probably happening inside the wall, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll probably bring them all in that section there. We'll just do it over here. Now that is different from what I had over here. So one of the things that you'll run into now is that you can nudge wall holes into different positions, so you can get a little bit tricky. But this should work out much better. Oh, I guess that's wrong. Yeah, I hope that was going to be something cool with the blueprints. I think it's a good idea. I see other creators doing it. It's not like it's something that I came up with. I think should be good here. I do need to track this water back and update my spreadsheet. Make sure that this is where things are going to go. So I'm going to leave this unhooked for now because I want to make sure that I track these lines properly. So we know the water isn't hooked up just yet. Oh, that's not what we wanted. And those weirdly go up to the wrong thing. Do these travel down? Yeah, that's annoying. I really wish that the ceiling things would line up better. I guess maybe we have to do... Is it floor that lines up better with this stuff? I've done it before and had it be straight. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. See, I feel like these ceiling pipe things should be a little tighter to the ceiling. Now we'll just delete those. I think it's pretty reasonable with all this crazy tech that these pipes would just kind of hold themselves up. That's perfectly fine. Did I put this too high? Keep on running out of juice. Is the water better or worse to work with in Satisfactory or Minecraft? Oh. I think the problem with Satisfactory is that the water is inconsistent. I think the trick is to use water towers, and that's what I've done. So I'm not sure if you can see them, but there's towers over there. So we bring in a lot of water, but before we bring it, rather than going straight from water extractors, which are over there somewhere, we bring the pipes all along here. But before these pipes get to here, I run them through here. And that seems to be the big difference in success, is getting things up high and pumped in with gravity. Right, so I think I just have to change this. Now these parts, I think I will use the indicator just because I think it'll be good to see that water is flowing if we need to check it. And they're weirdly staggered. That doesn't make any sense. Unless it's an indication of me screwing up and it snapping on the wrong side. Maybe that's what that's for. Well, that's good to know. If you're doing 3 pipes and they're all the same length and the little indicators change position, then it's probably that it's snapped around the corner, giving it extra length. I do like how tidy pipes look when you run them around corners. Cool. So that is 3 water pipes coming in. We do have indicators that I'm going to run here, I think would make a good idea. And at this point, we could run the pipes down that way, I guess. So now up here in the ceiling, we've got an indication as to whether things are flowing. I think here we don't need that there. I just have to remember to hook this one up. Oh, that's strange. Let's don't need that. So 600 pipe comes in. This will pull 300, but it only needs 2. This will take the rest and then dump it and split it into the other 2. So 600 divided by 3 should mean that they all get what they need. I hope. I hope. And I guess we can hook this one back up again. So this is the far right. And then this is the far right. But then here becomes this side. Which likely means... be 1, 2, 3. I'll probably rearrange this all together. Rather than going up against the wall, we'll probably just keep them all flat. So that means that this pipe is probably going to be the one that gets rerouted. I should be able to do this. Oh, this should be an easy fix, actually. They should all just do that. This one might be tricky. We'll figure it out. So we should see water flowing in. Should be 600. Yeah, it is nice to do them in a nice tight pattern. It makes it so much easier when you try to follow them later on. That should be good. Yes. Okay. So now the thing to do is to complete the design on this side. So I'll do that after the thing auto saves. We'll have to figure that out. I haven't really decided if I'm going to paint these a different color. I kind of like them the way they are. We could make sections of them white if I wanted to. That could be kind of fun. For now, I think I'm just going to stick. We're definitely doing the coated concrete. Like that's the thing that's definitely staying. I wish you could change the transparency of the hologram. I keep on trying and it doesn't seem to take. Like you can change the color, but you can't change how intense the color is. High contrast build dismantle node. I don't know what that does. Doesn't seem to be different. Yeah, I don't really see much of a difference. So these are wrong. Yeah, we need those to be lower. I think that's right. Yep. And then we just need to add a spot on top where it pokes through. And then these would be incorrect as well. I'm just going to do these the whole way, and we can always delete them later if we need to. And that means we probably don't need these. Just one here. I'll leave that there for now. Yeah, I got a tip. Changing the hologram colors to white when you're doing things like splitters. it means that you can see these green arrows. I mean, it's a lot easier when you're in the dark, but you can see the arrows a lot better when the hologram that you're building with is white and not a color, because then you can absolutely see the orange arrow versus the green arrows. I think that kind of stuff makes sense. Same with the machine, you know, like, okay, well, this is going back and forth to green. So my colors right now are, if it's free and clear to be built, it's white. If it's encroaching on something by clipping, it's green. And if you cannot build it there, then it's red. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then blue is dismantle, is delete. I think by default they're mostly orange and green, which makes no sense because then your indicators are orange and green, and it's hard to see them. So this is another one where you can see the roof looks uneven, right? So we were removing everything from here up. And then the section behind that, it's like a meter. That feels right compared to what I just looked at. I do wish sometimes they would give you like a little number, like a little increment, like you've moved it 0.51, 0.51. Like I feel like that would be helpful. Here you can just count, I guess. That is an actual pipe. That is an actual pipe. I think that's hooked up. Has water in it. I should... Oh. Didn't work. What's happening there? Alright, that's hooked up to a splitter. This no longer needs to happen. Just connects this way. Oh, I remember this now. It tries to connect from the top. I'm not sure why it tries to connect from the top. Yeah, that's wild. I hope they fix that kind of stuff. That's nice and tidy. I think that's different than what I did before. Is it flowing? I feel like it's flowing. Oh, it needs power. That's what it is. Yeah, weird. I guess we have to redo it. Some weird pipe hole glitch. It's alright. We had it looking nicer anyway. Right. And then that hooks into there. Weirdly. So what's going to have to happen there is probably changing this to be a pipe hole and then just running that right into the ceiling. So we'll remove that. Put down a pipe hole. Oh gosh. I wish I had thought about where that was going to be. It's right in the middle. There. Now why is that doing that differently? It was so nice before. Sounds like it's flowing. Yep. Just not going into the machine. That's fine. And then we replace this. And I think we probably keep those, I guess. Well, it's very clear where the pipes go. Mr. Dangly Legs. That is a great Twitch name. Welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. Game's going good. We have sorted out the water location. I need to bring in the power. I need to think about stairs for the next level. I need to think about a power room. Those are kind of where we're at. I think the stairs are going to go here. That's the outside, but we've got room here to get up to the next level. I just don't know where the next level is yet. That's the issue. Sun's getting real low. You're right. I just noticed that myself. So for folks that are just coming in, like Mr. Dangly Legs, I take a break once an hour. Gives me a chance to refresh my water. My voice is a little bit fuzzy today for some reason. I don't know why. Weird weather, I guess. But we ride the break train while on break, so you get to hang around and see stuff like that. And I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Feel free to grab a friend, maybe a snack. We'll be right back. right on time. Thank you, Cosmic. Do you have any goodies? Just fuel. Okay. So before I get back in there, I'm going to go and follow these water lines. I want to make sure that these are all hooked up correctly. So it's these three here. And they are the bottom three. I don't know. These are just empty, I guess. So it's the bottom three, which is the bottom three pipes there. This isn't hooked up to anything. So I should just not have it there. These three turn sideways. And they stay on the left. So I think this should be the first three bays over at the water plant. So I'm just gonna, we'll follow it on the way back. I'm gonna get in the tube here. Thankfully, with the new hypertube speed, this is a much faster trip. And the reason why it's so far away is because it was a nice big rectangular spot in the ocean where we could build this without anything else getting in the way. We could have built it here, I guess, but I couldn't make it look right. And I thought I might have to bring water down to that. We ended up bringing the water up from the basement, so we didn't need as much room here, but this just means we've got water for days. And these three on the side come down here. And then we've got 1, 2, and 3. And these are the ones for my concrete. So these should all be set to 120. 5 times 120 is 600. So that's our 1800 water that we need. And so Bay 1 is on the bottom, which means Bay 3 is on the top. So I'll know that. They're probably going to get turned around. That's fine. Yeah, the Stream Deck is behaving itself just fine. I still find that the commands within the Stream Deck, if you've got iTunes going and you want to pause iTunes, but you've been on Google Chrome, then Stream Deck thinks that you want to play pause Google Chrome, and it doesn't work. So my music doesn't stop when I come back from break. I have to stop it manually, which is annoying. I've got to check some of the macro buttons too. So Bay 1 was on the bottom, Bay 3 was on the top. Bottom, bottom, bottom goes to left. Left stays left. Left becomes bottom. Past Joel was good. Bottom becomes left again. So then they stay in the same order, which means that Bay 1, 2, and 3 is actually going to serve Bay 1, 2, and 3 of our aluminum, which is great. That makes it very easy to keep track of. So I need to pop up the spreadsheet here. The reason why I wanted to do that is because I need to make sure when I do Scourge Water Facility as the source, I need to say Bay 1, 2, 3. Man, typing when playing Satisfactory is painful. And that is 15 water extractors, 120 meters cubed, and that's 1,800 meters. 3 Mark II pipes. And that goes into here. Perfect. So 1,800 and 1,800. 240 times 9. Double check that number just in case. 2160. Okay. Yeah, it's really frustrating how slow it is. It's when I play Satisfactory and when I stream. If I'm just doing this spreadsheet without streaming, it's fine. So it's got to be some sort of processor slowdown. We haven't hooked these up yet, and I think I've made a mistake here, but we'll have to see how that goes. I feel like I've got double load balancing when I don't need there to be. Oh, I have a hard drive in my inventory. Let's get that going. Ooh. Alternative Caterium circuit board. They're pretty cheap as it is. 2 and 4 to 1. 10 and 30 to 7. I'm going to re-roll that. $10 minutes. That should be the final design, at least for now. Don't know about this wall. Guess we do that, and then probably do the same thing here. So we will have to move these. Don't want doubles. I just want singles. Are they all doubles? Why are they all doubles? I guess I must have used a wall before. Even in the daytime, it's so dark down here. I guess we'll try this as well. Oh, they all went backwards, because why would Satisfactory listen to me? Now it works. It's got something to do with the two-sided plug. I feel like it should know that even though I've grabbed from a two-sided plug, that it should default to whatever actually works in the space. I think that would be better. I'll try something different here. Since we can nudge walls, That actually works out pretty well. It's just barely noticeable that it doesn't line up. And you could maybe cover that with a beam or something if you wanted to. So not the final look, but good enough for now. Now, will this remember? Yes. That pretty much takes care of that. And then we just have to mark out the edges. I should be able to just bring this down. And then delete these two. And that gets us most of the way there. Don't know if we need one there or not. It might be just on the ends that are visible. Like that. I'm going to leave a gap so I can get up here. Oh, out of stuff. Is that thing where you place an object and it gets turned around a bug? Because I've lost kind of the amount of times I've cursed that out this week. I don't know if it's a bug, but it's been in the game forever. It's always been there. Splitters do it. Everything does it. And it drives me crazy. 100% drives me crazy. I need more concrete too. Gonna have to go get some more plastic down at the oil refinery soon. Ah, I can't believe I made that jump. So again, I'm just gonna leave myself a hole so I can come up and down easily. And then we have to do this bit. I think it's 7. And these other ones are out farther. He did it again. Twisted around. That looks right to me. It's every time you reselect the piece is when it does it. And then here it was 8, I guess. I feel like I just have to eyeball it. Oh, it's too far. I think that's right. Looks right. The ma'am is done. Oh, that's interesting. 5. It requires refineries and water, but I mean, like, we've got lots of water available to us. And it more than doubles the output. Wait a minute. 9 to 7. 5 to 3. That's not that different. Seven divided by 9, 77, and yeah, for all the problems that would cause, that's actually not worth it, I don't think. Steel screws, also no. What's the recipe for those? Standard recipe, alternate recipe number 1. Oh, interesting. That might be worth getting. Because you can make a lot of steel pipes. Although, rods are cheaper. 2 plates. What's the number on this? 3 versus 2. I think the original is still cheaper. Play the game again. There's probably somebody in the comments that knows exactly what the good ones are. I mean, like, what is you doing? That's a different. Okay, that part's done. Now we gotta remember where the floor holes are. We're at this level, that's good. I want to say they're right in the middle. Yeah, I built that up top on purpose, I think. Probably better to do the beams first, because then we'll be able to see what we're doing. Is that right? Or did I go right to the edge? It is in a smidge. That's right. Oh, they stick out farther than the wall. Yeah, I did it right. Okay. It's good. I'm not sure what it's lining up to. And that makes the floor holes very easy to put down up here. Now here's a question. Do we like it better as... I guess we'd have to put in the bottom pipe if we want it to be an indicator, so we could try this. And then do... Nope, it's Mark 2. I want Mark 1. Or we can just do... Oh, is that... That's crooked? That's crooked. That means I did something wrong. Is this crooked too? No, that's straight. That's straight. Where did I mess up? Oh! I didn't put it between the pipes. Okay. That feels odd. I guess these were meant to be nudged farther. Probably. Also, I'm realizing that there's stuff in the walls. So that is straight, and now a copy of what's happening down below. And so these are wrong. I know what I did wrong. And double check to make sure there's nothing else there. That's good. And that should be straight. Okay. Not that it matters what it looks like from up here. I just want to make sure that the pipe itself is straight. Although now this is missing. Right. There's a lot of building and unbuilding in the game. I'm not a big fan of. Okay, now that should go to there, no problem. It does that silly angle thing. Not that it matters, it bugs me that they're so inconsistent. If you're doing it where you could see that, it would be really annoying. Okay. That gets covered up. And then those both look consistent. So here I've got these things as separate little chunks here. So I'm wondering which do we think looks better if I change this to an indicator pipe. Do we think that looks better with the water flowing through it? It brings in a little bit of color. Or we could just leave it plain. If we leave it plain, it changes the way that we do things here a little bit. Might be better to prepare for it in either situation. So this should be right on the line. One hopes. MAM research is done as well. Yeah, it's really weird. I go to choose this one and it doesn't give me the right indication. It's really bizarre. That's straight. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes a little bit easier to do. So I don't think I necessarily need that level. Like that's the ceiling level here. So it's this row I don't necessarily need to keep. It's just it was easier to use that to give myself a pipe hole. So I know I'm not at a point where I'm worried about the number of entities in the world just yet. I can delete the ones that are unnecessary, I guess. This one is necessary because it's the end of the row. So now we just have to decide. I guess we can bring this back along this way. But we have 2 pipes to turn, not just one. And I do not want that to get in the way of my power plans. Power looks like it's all going to be on the left. Well, I could turn this back a little bit. It's going to screw that up a little bit. Whatever. Because this one is going to have to go all the way down to the 3rd. This can actually stay right where it is. No, no, wait a minute. Yeah, and then that one will move. So this will grab a splitter here. There does get to a point where you get kind of sick of this stuff not performing the way that you want it to. That actually has to be a splitter, because we're going to have another one of these guys here. Also, MAM research is done, I think. Yep. Don't care about those. Not really concerned about those. That feels like a bad idea anyway. And bolted plate. Also no. I'm not even sure what recipe I'm looking for at the moment. Anything that reduces plastic or gives me better ingots, that kind of stuff. We need to grab this guy. I think I did it right in the middle, right? Yeah. And that goes all the way up to here. So this pipe will actually just end right about here. Right, and then here, pop down one of these, and then snap 2, and we should be good. All right, 600 coming in. 200 gets taken off, 400 goes on, 200 gets taken off. That stays Mark 1. Now we just have to do the bottoms. Notice I did not say pop of color, you're welcome. It looks cooler with the indicator, I think, and I agree it brings some nice color to the design. Yeah. Because I do want more of that. Plus, it would be nice at this level to visually see, is it working? Is it not working? And I grabbed... That's how that goes. Working a lot better this time around. Weirdly how this one... Do these dip down? Yeah, they do. Okay. Thought it wasn't doing that, but it is. Now this is where I do try to save on the entities in the world, and like I just don't need, same thing with all these belts, like when this is all done, I don't need these little feet underneath them, because you can't see them, so it doesn't really matter. And if you make a practice of that, it seems to help. Fuzzy Raid! Fuzzy, is it LG1K, is raided with a party of 11. Thanks ever so much. Welcome in, welcome in. What were you up to on stream, Fuzzy? Hi, hello there. Appreciate the raid. Thanks for bringing over your viewers. We can get a shout out in chat for Fuzzy. That'd be great. They were... Oh, we do. We have one. Thank you, Cosmic. Playing Minecraft. What were you doing in Minecraft? What were you doing in Minecraft? Trying to make a mine shaft look beautiful. Very cool. It's always fun to take Minecraft, like generated structures, and see what they look like, and try to like make them your own. Keep the spirit of it, but then make it your own, right? For folks that maybe don't know, I do play Minecraft and Satisfactory mostly on the channel. I also co-host the Spawn Chunks podcast with Pixel Rips. You can get that at thespawnchunks.com. It's free. And right now we're in Satisfactory, obviously, and we're trying to get water to our aluminum factory. This has been a couple of streams now, trying to get this sorted out. And so one by one, we're bringing over the pipes. And I've got to remember that these are in different orders here. Wolf Buttercup MC, thanks for the follow. Fuzzy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Using a book like Armor Statues that uses display entities. Oh, very cool. Yeah, that display entities are really fun to play with. So we're looking at this middle one here. Middle pipe, middle pipe, middle pipe. Oh, autosave. Small glitch. Hold on to your butts. Gort Minecrafter, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Also, I should let everyone know that we have officially hit 1,000 subscribers on the Joel Duggan YouTube channel. Or the Joel Duggan VODs YouTube channel, I should say. Where all of the archives for my 3-year-old Minecraft medieval city build and all of Devastator here on Satisfactory are archived. Very cool. So that's the middle, that's the middle, that's the middle. And we just need to bring this up to the middle. It's going to be quick and dirty for now. And that goes in the middle there. Middle down here. Water, she's a-flowing. Good, 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 good. In a weird spot. I guess probably because of this. I wish you had more control over where those go. And we should have water flowing down the pipes. Yay! Victory. The only one that doesn't have an indicator is this one. But it's full, so that's good. So that's that one done. Now we've got to bring this other one farther along, and I just realized that this pipe is going to be in the way. So we may have to drop that down in order to pass it along. Be a little bit cleaner. I try not to clip things together if I can help it. Try to do this while we've got some sunshine. Oh, one more. Leave that open. How long has this Satisfactory run been going? This one is a little over 1,000 hours. I've got a couple different saves. One of them is at 300, I want to say. Yeah, 1,022 hours. Actually, quite a bit over 1,000 hours. 302 and 72. So 380. 1,300 hours in the game, I guess. Roughly. 1,400. Thanks. So if anybody in my community wants to go over and leave a follow for Fuzzy, you'll be able to check out what they were doing on their Mineshaft Decor stream. Appreciate you bringing in the viewers. Is this your first time here, Fuzzy? Or did you know about my streams from the Spawn Chunks? That seems silly. Ooh, this is interesting. Rubber instead of sheets. And you need... So that actually could be worth it. Because you use... these. So right now we're doing 3-2, and that's normally 5-1. Three of those. All clad sheets. What are the ratios for all clad sheets? I'm trying to remember what takes up more aluminum ingots. Aluminum casing is 90 to 60, and sheets is 30 to 30. So you get more sheets. So actually, that's not a great recipe. Yeah, that's interesting, but not a good one. All right. Try again. For folks just coming in, there are standard recipes in the game, and then there are alternative recipes in the game. For example, we are currently using an alternative sloppy alumina recipe, which only produces alumina solution and has no water export or silica export. So it makes it a cleaner system. And we had to go find this in the world rather than being unlocked with normal progress. Serious business when there's spreadsheets. Yeah, well, when you get Hold on. I should have shown everybody coming in what we've got going on. When you get as big and as complicated as this factory, you need it. You need the spreadsheets, because when you take a look at the amount of stuff we've got coming in to this factory, and it's ever growing, like, you need to know where all of this is going. And it's going into these places. There's factories over there. There's a factory floor there. There's all kinds of stuff behind these walls. Like, you really need to track it. Once you start tracking it, it becomes a lot more straightforward, because then you don't have to remember where you put something. You can just, you look it up. You have your own little kind of satisfactory dictionary. Somewhere. There's space right there. Part of that SMP. Very cool. SMPs are fun. The Citadel is an SMP. The main show, the main place that I do my Minecraft, that's an SMP. That's wrong. Feels better. Now at this point, right. Trying to remember the phases at which I have to make this thing, right? That goes to there, that goes to there. We need to add this layer here. I believe it's right on the line. Make sure those are straight. Looks like yes. Once you do it enough times, it becomes a lot faster. You end up picking the right order to do things in. Should be good. And that should be good. And we just have to do the top parts. Man, sun's going down again. No fair. I've got stuff to do. All right, grab the pipe again. That is those 3. And I gotta go get a break. For us newbies, what is the purpose of the game? So the game is a kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek factory, like your corporate overlords have sent you to this planet, and you are required to consume all the things and build all the things. And you've got to send complicated parts up to space via the space elevator, which you can see way over there. Because that's where I started in the world, so that's where my space elevator is. That's where I built it. You can move it later, but I haven't moved it yet. Eventually I'm going to make it a cool centerpiece of this factory, but right now that's kind of where it's hanging out. So you send complicated parts up to that, and you start off with just basic things like plates, concrete, and things like rods. And then as you get farther and farther along, you unlock more stuff. And this little thing is called the hub. And it's where you spawn if you die, and then you unlock all these tiers. So tier 1, it's really simple stuff. Walls, ramps, like basic. We're way up here in like tier 7 and 8, which is like, you know, thermal propulsion rockets and minor Mark IIIs and turbo motors. But down in the early game, you start off with like the real simple stuff. Copper, wire, cable, like stuff like that. And so the purpose is, the more stuff you send to the space elevator and the more things that you send up with this little drone guy right there, then the more complicated things you unlock. You know, you get to do computers and heat sinks and radio control units and that kind of stuff. Oh, and trains. And I think trains are one of my favorite things about the game. It makes me really wish that minecarts in Minecraft were a lot better. Anyway, for anybody that just came in with that raid, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for continuing to chill with us. I think you'll find it's a pretty welcoming community. We are going to take a short break. I do this once an hour for 5 or 6 minutes. When I get back, we'll continue on with adding the water to the aluminum factory. In the meantime, you get to ride the break train. So you'll see a little bit more about the world, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Fuzzy, take care. Thanks so much for the raid again. Appreciate it. It is a fun little ride, and it works out that it's exactly the right length for the breaks that I want to take, so works out quite well. So we're gonna bring down this other pipe. I guess I could do one of two things. I could raise this up and bring it down on top of everything, and that might be the easiest thing to do. Although this has already changed its length. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just remove this. Don't really care that they're not lined up. I would if we could see them, but we can't. Alright, so this is going to go here. And need to put this in temporarily. One, two, three, four, five. Maybe I'll make that higher. I never know how far to go. 1, 2, 3. I think it's 3. Maybe it's, yeah. That goes like that. That means that can come straight down like this. And we'll send it on. I think it'll still clip. Yeah, that's annoying. I've lost my power. All right. Do I want to do it that way? Or do I want to just go up and over? Let's... feel like up and over might be better. Yeah, that'll be easier to track, I think. Okay, so that comes in there. Go up and over there. And then we just have to continue this down. We can just keep it at that height and go from there. And that is right on the seam. This should be pretty easy. For I've lost power again. There should be some upgrades, I think, that they should add that will give more range to the hover pack. I think that would be great. Oh, good, it reaches. Excellent. Now this should be a lot easier because it's higher, so it should give us a nice right angle for these changes. So we'll just do a quick check on the math. 600 coming in, 200 get pulls off that way, 400 going on, and then 200 and 200 being split evenly. Cool. Don't need those. All looks good to me. So now we're going to go back and hook it up. Did you continue Starfield, Joel? No. I just... there was so many repetitive problems with it, and I just got tired of it. It just was not... It constantly felt amateur, which... I mean, again, I didn't pay for it. It was part of Game Pass. I ended up having, I think, a better experience playing on my Xbox, and so I wasn't going to stream it if I was having a better time on the Xbox. So, yeah, that's kind of how it went. We will fix this mess later. That is not staying like that because I don't know if those are staying there. But we can delete all of these. Do I want to keep... No, I can probably get rid of all of this too. I'll leave some of that there just in case I need it later. Although I know I won't need the pipes. Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's just get rid of everything. That way we can look at this area with a clean set of eyes. As we end up building more along here. I guess, I don't know if I hooked it up. Yep, all 3 pipes are ready to go. That would be this one here. flowing. Flow rate is really low. I guess that's because it's full and it's not going anywhere. All good. It's only going to get so far because we did not hook these up. And now we just have to bring these along for the ride. Can't remember how far it goes out. Not quite to the line. Very cool. Blowing in. Obviously that's not going to show until we power it. Cool. That's in. Now we can finish the design. And that's all done. Nice. So now I've got to figure out where to get the power into them. I was going to run it right along the middle from the roof. The problem is that I don't know if this is where the roof is going to stay. So one thing we need to do is delete a bunch of machines, I think, and figure out what's going on up here. I guess I could always just call... I don't think I'd want to sink this roof, because the two options are basically where it is now or at like this level. I feel like that would be far too small. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I don't know if I should start running power, not knowing where it's coming from, because I need to know where it's coming in the building. I was going to put a power room here, but I could also put one here. Currently we do have power there, and that's part of where it comes in, but that's mostly for the hypertubes. So I could have a little room off to the side here. I don't know if I'm going to keep this ramp the way that it is. Kind of like coming down here rather than being up here. Feels like you see more. Not that big of a deal, I guess. Oh, the clipping in the game is purely visual. Purely visual. Yeah, they don't, it doesn't indicate anything at all. Is this a live wire? It must be. Yeah, alright. That's where it's coming in there. Where does that go? You continue through here. Along to there. Alright, so that's not staying. Which means that's not needed, and that's not needed, and that's not needed. So right now the only power is coming in over here. And I thought what I could do is have a room here. I've got power coming in nice and neatly inside here, like it's underneath the bridge. And so after it comes in, it just kind of like gets distributed along here. And if I brought it over here, I could have a little room with like power controls in it. But I guess I need to figure out if I want to keep this ceiling. Can I get stairs in here and a power room? That's the question. If stairs are going to go in here, it would make sense that they would happen over here. I don't know why you can't put stairs on top of things. It's a little bit bizarre. And I wish the railings wouldn't show up in that way. That could go up to there. I think that'll get us the right height. So we could fit stairs in there. So it really doesn't take up that much space. Good. If I wanted to, I could make this longer. Go up from the second level. So that could be a full platform if I wanted it to be. That's actually not so bad. Yeah. Cool. I don't like the way that the walls hide the railings. I wish the railings were just a little bit tighter inside the stairs. This would also give us room to do a hypertube maybe, which could be... That's outside right now. It doesn't have to stay outside. But the idea was that this was going to be recessed in. We would have enough room if I drop that. Only just. No, not a fan of that. So the hypertube would have to be here, I guess. I could do that. Could have the hypertube go up to there. I'd like to have better hypertube kind of transitions between floors rather than just random stuff. I'd like to do something permanent, but until now I've not really taken the time to plan for them. I wish you could do hypertubes straight up and down, but you take damage from them if you do that. There's room for 2 hypertubes there. Trouble is, it would shoot you off here. Well, we can try it. I think one of the best things about this game is the way it starts off small and steady and takes you through the stages in the game over time. I don't think the learning curve is that steep, but you probably see things like scope creep come in. Yeah. It's not a steep learning curve. I think it's one of those things where like you're going to do a playthrough and then you'll get it and then you'll want to start over, because when you can start over and be just like, okay, I've learned it. I now want to do it tighter, and I have ideas for designs and different methods and stuff like that. Essentially, you end up doing something where a certain phase becomes a pain in the butt and you know how to avoid it, but it means like removing things. Reminds you of Oxygen Not Included. We've played that on the channel before. It's similar in a way. The thing that I like that this removes is that you don't have to manage the happiness of people, your little tunes. I really like Oxygen Not Included. I really want to play it again, but I haven't really had the time. Hypertubes are transportation. Stuff goes there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not quite what I wanted. Yeah. Had to fuss around with that. Because it'd be nice if we could do 2. One going to one floor, one going to the next, maybe? It needs so much room. That's pretty straight. Almost. You like, by the time you get them out here, they're way in the middle of the room. And that's what I don't like. And that goes through the staircase. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to bother. We'll find another way to do that in a fancier way. Cosmic Dancer gifted a tier 1 sub to Curtis Does a Dig. Thanks very much, Cosmic. Welcome in, Curtis. You now have the stone keystone badge, and you can connect your Discord and Twitch and join us in the Discord. Thank you for the support, Cosmic. Really appreciate it. I think there might be Oxygen Not Included VODs on my Joel Duggan VODs YouTube channel. Pretty sure. Alright, that takes care of that stuff. So, where are we going to bring in power? What's happening here? This needs to be sorted underneath here. That's coal. Where's the coal coming in? That's the coal there. I think we're just doing 2 lines of coal. So this spits out 240, and this needs the solution, which is straight. So 240 out, 240 in, and then this is going to need 120 coal per minute. So there's only 1 line of coal per side. This line goes all the way down, and this line connects. So I need to add the floor holes along here. And figure out how to divide these. And we've got this line going all the way down. And I need to refresh my memory as to where the coal is coming from. I'm pretty sure it's coming from a train. Scavenger station, coal, 1200 per minute, of which we only need 1000, or 1080. Not 1000, 1080. And that's on 2 Mark V belts. So one of those belts is going to fill 5 machines. Coal is 120 per machine. Yep, 600. And 4 machines is 480. So that leaves 120 left. Correct. Okay. So I need to make sure that the overflow is set for those. I don't think these are even hooked up. No. They're currently separate. And I want them to come in here. So here's a good example of the clipping not mattering. Right? Doesn't matter. Goes right through the wall. It means that you can kind of cheat stuff. I try not to clip because I think it looks bad. And I prefer like the problem solving of clipping it, you know? Or of not clipping it, rather. Alright, so these are going to come up. These are 2 Mark Vs. Might as well change our belt color. That will be coal. And I guess I should do the other side first. Yes, the clipping makes it unsatisfactory. 100%. You got it right. So our 2 coal belts are on the top because back here we've got quartz on the bottom. So we'll paint these. I don't know why that was missed. Are they a different color? They're a different color. Crap. Alright, so what we need to do is change the way that this overflows. And that means that this is going to be where they connect down here. Don't remember why there's a floor here. At some point, I was going to actually have these go into a wall. And I'd say we'll use this one for now. And it's just basically to get them to disappear behind something. And so from this point is where we're going to connect them up to these belts. And these, I don't remember what's on these. It looks like bauxite overflow. Weird that we've got no bauxite coming in on those lines. That is odd. Okay. Item number 273 on today's problem list. Reasonably, I guess we could just put them on these lines. The problem with these overflow lines is that they get filled, right? Right. We'll do it down here. We can always adjust this later. Well, now that's full. I must have just been in between the train line. Okay, so let's continue with what we did back here then. We'll use these back two lines. Or actually, this line doesn't look like it's too much on it. Right. The bauxite overflow is going to be changed anyway. So we need two of these. I'm not sure why it's not giving me the line. Merger there. And merger here. And then these, I guess I can just use regular splitters, or I'll use smart splitters. Come on. It's not snapping. Okay. So this space grab ourselves Mark 5 lift. Cosmic. I like you. You can stay. Nice. That's not gatekeepery at all. I'm teasing. It's very funny. I want logistics, Mark 5 belt, and try to make this look good. But it's not going to connect. We'll say left is overflow, center is coal. Actually, that should be any, I guess. So for new folks, these splitters let you control where things are going, and overflow is a really good tool because it means that your machines always get what they need, but they will not be oversaturated, so you're not wasting anything. But there's a bug right now where these lifts don't connect to the splitters. So I have to do this way. It's annoying. Because it doesn't look the way that I want it to. So hopefully they will fix the bug. You can see those are now flowing that way. And that means that we can delete this. And delete that. Oh, autosave. Yeah, I guess it's one of the things about playing a game that's this complicated in early access is that it's, you know, in development and there's always something changing. So here, I think the solution was I had to build the splitter and then break the belt. So we'll take from the top first, I guess. And then this is going to be the same thing. We're going to go coal and then overflow. And yeah. Now what should have happened, I guess, test this out. So now with these lifts, I should be able to put one here. See how it snaps and there's a little chime? It's hard to hear. But it's nice and tight, and that's what I wanted. But if you build smart splitters on the belt first, it doesn't work. This is annoying. Because it adds a bunch of steps that you really shouldn't have to do. Oh, copy those settings, paste them here. Move this. And we've got coal. So because we've got overflow protection here and overflow protection there, it means that this belt should never get backed up. And already it looks like it's being a little bit chuggy. Because it's being mixed on a belt where that's too much for it to handle. Although it's moving along fine. Weirdly, you get this visual glitch when things are merged. It's like there's a delay in the merging. I wish that wouldn't be the case. So much nicer when the belts don't stutter, you know? I'm a video game developer. Let me tell you, they're probably scrambling trying to figure out why the heck it's doing that. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good at communicating about like what's happening and when and where and all that stuff. All right, so that is now in, which means we can change the color of that back to normal. Oh, right, we can't change the color of those because that's another bug. Yay. It's just the conveyor walls. We don't need any of this anymore. That can all go. Yeah, that belt has a lot less on it. Okay. And sooner or later, this will not have 1200 coal on it. There will only be 120. And it'll probably only be on one line. So now we've got coal coming in there, but I need to get it down to here. Oh, I already have that set up. Go with this one. The right level? Looks to be the right level for me. It's just facing the wrong way. So if these are coming down, let's bring them down to the level there. For starters. And then this one will be lower, facing this way. And this one will be higher. And then this one will just come down. 1, 2. What is going on? Now we should be able to take Mark 5 belt, and this should... it doesn't quite make a nice turn. Oh, that's off. Okay, I gotta redo those then. And I'll bump them out. Thought that was gonna be easier. Maybe now I can just use it without the support on the wall. That's what I was looking for. Beautiful. They come in like that, and they go down through the floor. And then we just connect them out that way. My subfloor has a subfloor. So we need a regular splitter. And that just goes right here. That's 600, and that should do 5 machines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one right here. Thank you, Cosmic. Appreciate it. So we can just line these up. Not that way. And then this is the last one. And it was 120 each. Yes. That needs Mark II lifts. And then this will just go in like that. And then a Mark II belt. Oh, that's not tidy at all. Right? We'll just use a splitter. So this is 600 minus 120. It's 480. Or 80 minus 120 is 360. 360 minus 120 is 240. That's that one. And along here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just have to bring this around to this level here. So we can get rid of that. Now, some of this might actually change. I might not use a full 600 belt here. I'm learning too soon I'll be sentient. Nice. Yeah, so this one here doesn't have to be the full 600 because we only need, what is it, 1080? $1080 total minus 600 is 480. That's good. That's nice. That's a nice shift. So what I need to do is just track back this left-hand belt. And so it stays there. It's the low one. Lost the light. It's the far one. So it's the one on the left outside. The one on the left outside is this one. So from here, we can actually change all of this to be a Mark IV belt. So it's only going to take what we need. to remember to do that. And then down here, same thing. Oops. Starting on the left. Mark 4. And then here, we can just use Mark 4. Sorry, it's very dark down here. And then regular splitter. And 4 times 120. I often twist them because of the bugs in the game, and by hearing that chime, you know it's working right. So that's 480, 360, and then 240, and then 120. And then the remainder of this is really straightforward. We just grab these pipes and it's just 1-to-1. Probably better to start down here. So there's no... I'll do that to there. Let's do these first. Oh, I probably built these all the wrong color. Whoops. Now that we're back up here, I should change my build color again. I think that's right. Guess we're not making the pipes bright white. That's fine. And that is the second tier of aluminum, at least all functioning with the exception of power as far as logistics go. And then we'll tackle that another time. So we've got the bauxite and water now both coming in to these first machines. There's now coal lined up to come into these second machines. And the other thing that they need is alumina solution. And that's really the way that this whole system was designed, is that it's a 1-to-1. So each refinery has its own kind of sister refinery that it gives the alumina solution to. And it looks pretty cool when you kind of have it open to the ground. I don't think I'm going to have glass here. I don't think there's a reason to see the subfloor. It's just going to add things for my game to render in that I don't necessarily need for it to do. I mean, granted, it doesn't quite look as cool, but we'll come up with something. I was messing around with some ideas down here for like barriers, but I don't know if I'm going to get into that much detail. Honestly, like we could just have this whole thing be a solid wall if we wanted it to be. But I kind of like seeing some of the guts. This is also pretty cool too, just having like a beam there. It just covers up the little feet that look a little bit funny. Like the little details. I find that they look kind of terrestrial, whereas doing it this way kind of covers things up. Anyway. Take care, the Nookie. Good to see you. I've got to wrap up too. I've got to get some dinner on the go. But that is, I guess, the next phase all taken care of. Really, I'm concerned about the bauxite overflow, and we have yet to even figure out what's happening with these guys. The thing with the aluminum scrap production, when it gets upstairs, I need to figure out what's happening up here, because all of these machines have to go. So I might not even stream that. I might just come in here and delete all this because it's not the most exciting thing to watch. So that'll give us a clean slate. We'll figure out where we're going to put the floor. I'll have to figure out what kind of machines I need, because we're going to use, instead of foundries, we're going to use smelters, because we have another alternate recipe for aluminum. We don't need any of the silica, so all that gets to go away too. So yeah, should be a good time. But it's one of those things where like you kind of have to do, you do A, B, and C, but before you finish B and C, you have to figure out what D is doing, and that's kind of at the stage we're at now. So anyway, really appreciate everyone being here. Thanks again for the raid, Fuzzy, and for the support, Cosmic, and for moderating, Cosmic. Always appreciated. I'm going to pass you along to somebody else playing either Satisfactory or Minecraft. Let me see what I can find here. Don't normally stream this time of night, so there's not many people online. Ginger the Lily is playing Minecraft. Let's raid Ginger. Ginger sends us raids all the time, and very rarely do I get a chance to return the favor. So we're going to send you on to Ginger the Lily. Paths and Tunnels and Bridges. Oh my, fun and games is what they're streaming in Minecraft. So you will enjoy your time there, I'm sure. And I will see y'all on tomorrow, Thursday, because I actually have a scheduled Satisfactory stream tomorrow. That's the plan. 1 o'clock Atlantic, UTC minus 3 hours. No, 4 hours. Time changes. Gotta love it. You can find me at Joel Duggan on social media everywhere. And of course, listen to the Spawn Chunks podcast and the Citadel Cafe podcast. Very easy to find. Patreon is one of the best ways to support. You can do that at patreon.com/JoelDuggan. And you can watch all the VODs at Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube. Thanks so much, folks. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.